Boomchanka, everybody, how's it going? Good morning to you. It's the Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with a cheeky little morning show for you. We're going to get into some of the Manchester United news this morning. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's get freaking stuck right into this. Boomchanka, how's it going then, everyone? Thank you so much for stopping by and getting involved this morning. So I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've only seen it this morning myself, but Harry Maguire did an interview with the BBC, did an exclusive interview talking about his experiences and what happened while he was out in Greece. And of course, what has caused all of this media sensation and uproar and a lot of personal issues for Harry Maguire, to be honest, and he's given a completely open, frank interview, I thought. I mean, having watched it, I think he was very honest, very open. Didn't seem like he was being dismissive or lying about anything. He seems like a nice lad. I've always thought he was a nice lad. This is what is good about Harry Maguire. This is what's good for Harry Maguire, is whatever that he's being accused of over there is very out of character for Harry Maguire. Now, look, you can't get away from the fact that this lad should not have been there in the first place. I think he does have to hold a bit of responsibility just for putting himself and his family in that situation to begin with. Like, you shouldn't be doing that right now. It's ridiculous that he had gone out there, just after United were knocked out the Europa League, to a party island right now with what's going on with the global pandemic. Anyway, the football club, Manchester United, standing by, but they need to take a little bit of the responsibility as well for even allowing these players to just gallivant around all over the globe wherever they want to at a time like this. These are contracted professional footballers, so it's just absolutely redonkulous, to be honest with you, that our players are going all around the world and this is happening in the first place. But anyway, I mean, the actual interview with Harry Maguire, like I say, it seemed pretty frank. He talked about his experiences there. He said that basically his group's minibus was pulled over in Mykonos by a bunch of undercover plainclothes police officers, basically, and he wasn't really sure whether or not they were who they said they were, and they put a handcuff on him and he basically ran away. He was scared. He was in fear of his life. This is what he said. So I kind of look, it's one of those, isn't it? Whose side do you believe? I mean, look, we all know, we've talked about it previously, about the Greek judicial system and the legal system over there and the police over there. Maybe it isn't amongst the world's best in terms of corruption and things like that. I'm not making any accusations here. I'm just looking at statistics and facts. And it seems like maybe, there could be some foul play on the go here. He's been accused of bribery. He's absolutely outright denied that he's ever tried to bribe anybody. I find it very hard to believe that he would bribe them in a serious manner anyway. I think that's just absolutely BS. The rest of it, though, look, if he's assaulted police officer, is there's been any sort of violence going on there from Harry Maguire to these policemen? That is obviously a very serious crime. But what he has gone on to say, basically, is that they're awaiting a proper retrial now. So what's going to happen is, because they appealed it over there in Greece, what now happens is it's basically thrown out for the time being anyway. So, well, not thrown out, but his punishment is no longer intact, basically. The 21-month sentence that he got. So what it is now is he's an innocent man once again, and then they'll have a retrial at some point where they can have witnesses, evidence, and all these things, and they expect probably that this will be overruled, from what we understand anyway. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Let me just give this a refresh and see who's in here. Sorry, I always forget, it doesn't come up with a chat and say who's in here until I give it a refresh. I can see Oliver H, Dejan, CFC, AJ Nair, Hyphy Gorilla, Son Goku Ian 97, Razerk, Ellie, Viking Red, Gabriel Nelson, Raymond Moore. There's a whole bunch of you legends getting in here anyway. Voodoo Chili. Yeah. How you doing? How you all doing, everyone? Thank you for getting in here. Good morning to you. Hope you're all having a good morning. I hope this is reaching while you're having your morning coffee, or you're on your commute to work or college or whatever it is that you do. Or maybe you're just going to bed and you've been on a bender all night long. Who knows? But either way, thank you very much for joining me today, very early on in the morning. We're just going to talk a little bit about Harry Maguire then. So he seems sort of like, kind of emotional, I don't know. But he said that it was just a horrible situation. He wouldn't want anybody to go through it. And he was in fear of his life, basically. So he just reacted out of pure fear. He said an apology is not something that you do when you've done something wrong. So he doesn't feel like he should apologise. He says, I don't feel I owe an apology to anybody. Do you know what, Slappy Maguire? I kind of think that you do. I'm sorry, mate. Like, okay, I agree with basically everything else that's gone on here, mate. Fair play. It sounds like maybe there's been a little bit of foul play, or he's just got pissed up and had a bit of an argy-bargy with some people he didn't realise were police. That's also possible, which is also quite likely. But at the same time, like, to be out there in that situation, it's not a good idea, is it, everyone? So I think that he should apologise in a way for setting a bad example to his fellow players and the fan base and that sort of thing. But yeah, okay, in terms of what's happened afterwards, I suppose if he feels like he's completely innocent, he did nothing wrong other than run away out of fear, then fair play to the lad. He feels like he's not done anything wrong. He says, I don't wish it on anybody. Obviously, the situation has made it difficult for one of the biggest clubs in the world, so I regret putting the fans and the club through this, but I did nothing wrong. Again, not an apology. He says, I regret putting the fans and the club. Just say the words, Harry. Do you know what I mean? A little bit of pride effing with him there, don't you reckon? Just say sorry to the fans, mate. Anyway, so he didn't want to say sorry because he said he did nothing wrong. But he does regret putting the fans and the club through this. Okay. He says, I find myself in a situation where it could have happened to anybody and anywhere. Right, okay, well, fair enough. Well, it wouldn't have happened to you if you went to bloody Butlins, mate. I don't think it was anywhere, was it? Do you know what I mean? Like, if he'd have just gone to Skegness on holiday with his family instead of going to the Greek island of Mykonos, maybe it wouldn't have happened like that, Harry Maguire. So I don't quite agree with that statement either. Just going to be brutally honest with the lad now. I like the lad, fair play to him, but no. I found myself in a situation where it could have happened to anybody and anywhere. No, it happened to you and it happened in Mykonos, Harry. Okay, because you're out on the lash. Own up to it, son. Anyway, he says, when he was asked how badly he was hurt, this is what's messed up about the situation. You know, he's lucky that something more sinister and more serious didn't happen here. He commented it and he said, they hit me a lot on the legs. It wasn't on my mind. I was in that much of a panic, fear, scared for my life. So they hit him a bunch on the legs. I'm guessing with what, like batons or something. So, you know, pretty serious stuff for a professional footballer who pretty much needs their legs. So that's not good. He said that his family were suffering quite a lot at the moment, which obviously understandable. But he said his conscience is clear. I know what happened that night. I know the truth, he added. When I speak about it, I get worked up, but that's because it just makes me feel a bit angry inside. I will move on. I am mentally strong enough. Fair play to Harry Maguire, you've got to move on. You've got to put this behind us. At the end of the day, we have to sort of stick by this man because he is our £80 million centre-back. You know my feelings on the captaincy. I think Bruno Fernandes is a better placed captain anyway, certainly now in terms of example setting and things like that. So, look, that's what I do if I was on a good Solskjaer, but it wouldn't surprise me if he does stick with Harry Maguire. It still remains to be seen what evidence is going to come out here, what other information is going to be revealed of what actually went on that night, because it's still all very cloudy. There's so many different accounts and little tidbits and gossip here and there. You don't know whether it's an Albanian gangster who's injected somebody, or if it's some angry football fans who've been giving them the bants, or some plainclothes policemen who just flagged down their minibus. So there's all these different stories and stuff, and okay, I guess we will figure out what happens in the coming weeks, but at the moment it's just an absolute shit show, isn't it? But he says it's a huge honour to be the captain of Manchester United, something I'm really proud of. It's a massive privilege to play for the club, never mind captain the club. You're absolutely spot on there, Harry Maguire. So I would like to think that the captain of Manchester United wouldn't be going out and putting themselves in that sort of situation, you know what I mean? Like, it's not the most wisest thing to do in the first place. I hope we all learn from this. I hope the United players learn from this window. I hope the club learns from it in this summer spell, because I can't imagine that it's going to go down very well if anybody else gets into any trouble anywhere. You know what I mean? So I think every single professional at Manchester United, they have to be just that. They have to be professional between now and the start of the season and stop getting into bloody trouble now, because it's ridiculous, man. Anyway, He said, it's not my decision to make, but the one thing I will say is how supportive the club have been from top to bottom. They have been great with me, and I thank them. So I think that's in reference to, him being the skipper at Manchester United this season. And the captaincy is up in the air. It is up for debate. Who do you guys think should be the captain of Manchester United? Let me know in the comment section. Give us a comment. Tell me which name. Get your name in the comment section. I want to see who you think should be Manchester United captain next season. Would you stick with Slabby Maguire based on what's been going on and his interview and that kind of thing? Or would you give it to Bruno Fernandes? Would you give it to somebody else? Do you want to stick with Slabby Maguire? This is the thing. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Gungshi's in here, says it's not like he's going to be any slower if they've hit him on the legs anyway. As long as that magnificent slab wasn't damaged, it shouldn't affect him. Nobody's getting rid of that Easter Island head, mate, to be honest. It's too heavy to move for a start. The Dugout Football Channel says, rivalries aside, I hope Maguire is okay. I hope he keeps his captaincy. Christ, Steven Gerrard beat up a DJ and he kept his captaincy. Fair play. Look, that's a great argument you make there. I mean, look, we've had some pretty rough and ready captains in the past. Roy Keane was a bit of an animal, wasn't he? I remember hearing that story he told about having a punch-up with Peter Schmeichel when he was on tour. It's like, he was no angel, this man. He also did a couple of other questionable things we won't get into right now. But yeah, I mean, look, it's like there is that element. Your captain is not always the most angelic player. They're usually captain for a reason. They're usually quite mentally tough. So not always, but, that's a good argument you make there. Fair play. Steven Gerrard beat up a DJ. I see what you're saying. And he never won the Premier League. So Razak says, when he was at Leicester, you never heard any bad news about him. Same goes for most of his career. Yeah, he seems like an absolutely nice lad. That United family says, Maguire thinks we should be sticking with Slabby as captain. Fair play to you. He says anyone that fights police is well worth it. There you go. He's not afraid. He's not going to back down, is he? He showed a little bit of bottle and a little bit of fight here, taking on some plainclothes policemen. Fair play. Kabaki HD comments, Maguire shouldn't be the captain, should just focus on being a defender. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you actually, Kabaki. I'm just in the camp of Bruno Fernandes right now anyway. And do you know what? People will remember me saying this a few weeks ago before any of this stuff happened. And a lot of you agreed with me at the time, is that we were saying out of the players that have shown leadership this season, Bruno Fernandes seems like more of a captain than Harry Maguire anyway, this season. Now, I understand what Harry Maguire did, like in the World Cup for England. He was an absolute leader at the back there, and he has shown great leadership throughout his career as well, and he has been a good leader for United this season. But has he been a great leader? I don't think that he has. Gungshi says, to have Roy Keane back. I mean, just imagine having Roy Keane back at this football club right now. I mean, in his prime, say you just signed him for $3 million from Nottingham Forest and he's just come in the side, it would just be like the most mangasmic thing ever. He would get this merry band of melters sorted out pretty damn quickly, I think. But that's just my opinion. Maybe not. Hey, hang on a second. What is this? Oh, don't worry. Anyway, something just random just popped up on my screen here. But yeah, let's get into your comment section then, lads and lasses. Thank you so much for joining me this morning for a bit of pig breakfast action. Do us a favour and smash a like on this video. Get involved in the comment section. I want to hear your thoughts on it in regards to the captaincy at United, the punishment of Maguire. Do you believe Harry Maguire? That's another thing. Stick a 1 in the live chat if you believe that Harry Maguire is completely innocent of any wrongdoing. Stick a 2 in the live chat if you think that he probably was pissed up and maybe caused a bit of trouble and, slapped a copper. That's what I want to know. Do you believe Harry Maguire? Do you back Harry Maguire? 100% here, and that's basically insinuating that the Greek authorities are corrupt. Or do you think that the police over there are being legit? He did try to bribe them. He did do that. Stick a 1 in it for backing and believing Harry Maguire. Stick a 2 in it for believing the Greek authorities' account of it. Viking Red says 1. Razak says 1 because the judge seems corrupt. Raymond says 1 as well. Ellie with a 2. So she thinks maybe Harry Maguire's got pissed up and had a bit of argy-bargy, and that's just the way it goes. And look, if they were plainclothes policemen as well, like, maybe it's a little bit too late, too late before he's not given them a slap. You know what I mean? Don't Doug Webster says, one, all seems a bit dodgy. Yeah, fair play to you, David Webster. I understand what you're saying. It does seem very fishy smelling over there in Greece right now. I don't know if it's because it's on the Mediterranean or whatnot, and they love that seafood, but but it's smelling a little bit fishy. Prince Koyama comments with a super chat. Where's CHO's interview when he was accused of... Cristiano Ronaldo, what? I don't really know what that means, mate. I'm going to be totally honest with you, but thank you, Prince Koyama. I have no idea what that's in reference to, but fair play to you, lad. Let us know in the comment section if you want to, if it's not too obscene. It does look like one of your words has been bleeped out there. Ellie says, well, hello there. Started about 10 minutes ago. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. Smash that thumbs up button. That will help this out considerably. And get your thoughts and opinions in about what we're discussing this morning. Harry Maguire. His interview last night, quite endearing, I suppose. Look, he seems like a nice guy, doesn't he? He's such a nice bloke, like it's so out of character. I think it is just a case of wrong place at the wrong time. I think he's just been out there, he's been bevied up, he's had one too many, maybe his mates are a little bit over-enthusiastic as well. I'm just saying, you know, what British folk are like abroad on the tinnies. And that's what's happened. I think maybe he just got a little bit overexcited out there. And if what we've told is true about the build-up with his sister and all that sort of stuff, you can understand maybe why there would be a heated altercation after an incident like that, where he's trying to fight for his family, if that is indeed the situation that happened. So so yeah, I mean, look, it's all going to come out, and we'll see what's happened. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Prince Koyama. Oh, okay. What, accused of rape? I think that's the word you were trying to use. I mean, look, sorry, I must have missed that one, my friend. So I don't want to say anything about that right now, but I must have missed that one, dude. But that sounds pretty messed up. But look, these things, like Cristiano Ronaldo was accused of rape. There's been lots of people that have been accused of rape. Now, I'm not saying that he's innocent or guilty. I don't know anything about it, like I've just said. I'm just saying that it is innocent until proven guilty, not the other way around. So we'll see what happens with that one. Just like with this Harry Maguire situation, that he was found guilty in the Greek courts, but he's appealed it, and now he's innocent again. Now he is innocent again until proven guilty again. So you have to look at it that way. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do a bit of research on that situation, mate, because I know nothing of it. Kabaki says Maguire gets raped on the pitch. Oh no, Kabaki. He seems to. He's got, he's definitely got a little bit of a lackadaisical vibe at the back, if you know what I'm saying. God, that sounded messed up. Anyway, nice one. Yeah, get your opinions in though, people. I want to hear from you what you think about it. I do think that Maguire shouldn't have been there, but everything that's happened since then is just a horror show. And really, it does sound like there's something a little bit fishy going on there over in Greece. So the retrial hopefully will allow this to be assessed properly. I mean, his representatives over there were only given the necessary documents a couple of hours before court proceedings began, which just stinks to high heaven, man. Like, what's that all about? Like, they've only got a couple of hours to prepare any sort of a defence based on these papers. So yeah, I think that it's only just that they get a retrial and they have to, they have to do what they do. Hey, Gungers! Thank you so much, Gungshi, for getting in here with your PayPal, lad. You're an absolute lunatic over there in Taiwan, mate. Yeah, that's right. Good to see. He says, good to see the pig breakfast back. Get in there, mein Schwein. Danke, mein Freunde. Das ist very, very good. Sehr gut. Sorry. Anyway. Yes, Gungshi, mate, it is back. Well, it's just random, isn't it? I just bring it back at random intervals at random times. Basically, when I'm up at this time, like if I'm up between 8 and 9, there'll be a pig breakfast. But if I'm not, then there won't be. But thank you so much for that, Gungshi. I suppose it's a respectable time of day where you are over in Taiwan right now. But I hope you're doing good, mate. I hope the back's not doing too shabbily, mate. And thank you so much for getting in here with your support. Let's read a bunch of your comments out there. I'm going to stick around for a while, probably until about 9 a.m. So if you guys want to get involved in the live chat and just go back and forth with a bit of Q&A with your thoughts and opinions on this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. AJ Nair says, Bruno Fernandes captain. Second question. Where's your second question? Okay, AJ. Anyway, Bruno Fernandes captain. Yeah, I do believe that he's the right man for captaincy. We've been over this. I do truly believe he's the best leader that we've got at the moment. So I would take him as the captain right now, and I would say to Slabby Maguire, thank you for your slabby service. Wheel yourself over to the corner, mate, and just chill and just fight out there on the pitch instead of out there in Greece. Do you know what I mean? And I would say, look, instead of going on holiday to Greece, to Mykonos, to a party island, next time consult with us, maybe go to Butlins, or even better, go and see your family over there in Easter Island. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's a pandemic on. Segregate yourself, Harry. Go and see... Oh, man, we just done him dirty there. I'm sorry, Slabby Maguire. Anyway... Viking Red says, love it, Pig. New legend. Great show. Thank you very much for that, Viking Red. Martin Ellison, one of the channel members, getting in here. The members. I think, no, we're not going to use that name for a channel member because it sounds a little... Anyway, he says, yes, Pig, shout out for me, the grafted on my break at work. Top man, Martin Ellison. Graft, hopefully it's not too... Don't work too hard, Martin. But I hear you, son. Thank you for getting in here on your break, mate. That's it. Bit of prig breakfast to keep you occupied on your break or when you're on your way to work or whatnot. Pablo says, do you think Messi will end up at City? To be honest with you, Pablo, I think if he does leave Barcelona, then yes, it will be Man City that he goes to, unfortunately. That is what I believe. Ellie comments, she says, you did a pig breakfast once at 1 p.m. Well, yeah, there's no necessary set time for the pig breakfast. Like I say, somebody somewhere watching somewhere in the world, it's breakfast time. Junior Pig, Junior Red, how you doing there? He says, hi, Pig, you ledge. Hello to you too, Junior Red. Shout out to your old man as well. He says, Pig, Greek food is the best. Love a little bit of Greek food myself, I'm not going to lie. Little bit of Dalmardis goes down an absolute treat, my friend. Bit of a gyro action. Bit of gyration. Ellie says, oh, I just realised I've now got a pig badge. Absolutely, all the channel members do have a pig badge next to their name, as you can see there. Shout out to all the channel members in the house, the Bacon Brigade. Gunga says, Easter Island holiday for the for the slabby Maguire. That's the thing. He's literally has a concrete slab on his head, man. But I love it. I love the way he uses that slab to good effect in games clearing balls where I can't really fault his defensive ability in the air and stuff like that. I think he's been class. And on the ball as well. Like, he's pretty good on the ball, like passing, that sort of thing isn't an issue. I think his positioning has been a bit of a problem this season. I think just his general speed is always at question as well, because it does leave us open a little bit sometimes when he's out of position. If you're out of position and you're slow, then you're basically screwed, aren't you? So I think we've seen that a few too many times this season. I don't think it helps him having a partner like Victor Lindelof, who's not Grease Lightning either. So we'll see if we can see some improvement in that area. Smash a thumbs up on this stream, lads and lasses. Thank you, the Dugout Football Channel. That means a lot, mate. He says, let's get the pig to 25k. Do you know what? I think I'm only a few subscribers away from 25,000 subscribers right now, lads and lasses. It's a monumental time. We're almost there. So if you're new to this channel, if you just stumbled across it right now and you're a United fan or a football fan, or you just liking what we do here, then hit that subscribe button as well, and that will help us out. Thank you very much for that. Super chat from, I don't think that's working today for some reason, says Son Goku Ian 97. Thank you so much for that, dude. Says, can this window get any more depressing? No signings, just bad news every week, bar Hendo new contract win, which United acts as a new signing. Like we were saying, Son Goku Ian, you're so right. Like other than the signing or the re-signing or the signing of a new contract from Dean Henderson, and of course, getting rid of Alexis Sanchez is a positive. And, other than that, what have we actually done this transfer window? Harry Maguire's not gone to prison. That's like a new signing as well. Like, I just think the board are just fanning it around big time now. They need to stop being a bunch of namby-pambies and do their business now. I think we all know that as United fans, that if we don't get the business done in the next week or something, then we're going to struggle next season. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is probably going to struggle next season because all these other teams are strengthening around us. The likes of Chelsea Scummers and, of course, Quiverpool and Manchester City. They'll all be strengthening. I mean, we're hearing about maybe Liverpool signing Thiago. Now, Thiago's a bloody quality player, man. I would love if United signed Thiago. Why aren't we freaking linked with Thiago? Why is Liverpool linked with Thiago? Why are Why are all these top quality players linked with Chelsea, and why are they actually going and signing these top quality players? Why didn't we go and sign Timo Werner? Why did we melt off that Haaland deal? Why did we just allow Haaland to go to Dortmund? What? Because they wanted a release clause in the contract. I'd rather have 4 or 5 years of good service out of a player than sell him for big money in the future to a different club if they've got a big team release clause in there. Pricks! You know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous. They haven't been doing the business, man. You've seen it. We've lost out on players. We've lost out on great players. And we're only going to continue to lose out on great players because we're not signing anybody, guys. It's a shambles. Hayden's in here. Is he? Hayden Alessandro. Yes, mate. How you doing? Top lad. Very active recently, you, Hayden. Thanks for being a new subscriber to the channel and getting in here always. Means a lot to me, mate. Thank you. He says, hope you're feeling better today, Mr. Pig. Good morning, everyone. I am feeling better today, mate. Thank you very much for asking. Viking Red says, send Harry for some SAS training. Nice one. Yeah, nice one. Stop ass scousers. There you go. He needs something, doesn't he? He needs some toughening up. Gungshi with a comment says, look at what Chelsea are doing in the transfer market. We need to be strengthening. 100% Gungshi. It's a joke how inactive our board are in terms of bringing players into this football club. And don't blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer for any of this, because like I keep telling you, he would have been desperate to get a couple of new signings in at least, because you need that. Even if you can't necessarily get the quality players, they always talk about, oh, there's not the value in the transfer window and all this bullshit. But even if there's not all that, like, you still need a couple of new fresh faces in just to keep things competitive, just to keep people honest out there, you know? Like, that's why I think it's good that Dean Henderson signed this contract and may not be going out on loan. Because now David De Gea actually has some stiff competition there. Of course, we used to have Sergio Romero, but he was the backup number 2. He was the cup keeper. Now with Dean Henderson in there on 120k a week, a player that had a really good season in the Premier League for Sheffield United, it's like, well, De Gea has to perform, or we've got somebody else coming in there. There's that competitive edge that he will have now, which he wouldn't have had before. It remains to be seen what happens with all those players and who goes and who stays and who goes out on loan, because Romero might go, Henderson might go on loan, De Gea might be sold. You never know what's quite going to happen at United, to be perfectly honest. And it would not surprise me one bit if United were waiting to sell a player before we signed a player, because that's how terribly run we are financially right now, and that's the sort of position we find ourselves in. We did spend a bit of money last season, so I think they're looking at it now going, you know what, we could have done with selling a Paul Pogba, we could have done with selling a David De Gea and generating a bit of cash, so it wouldn't surprise me if that is indeed the plan. Mrs. P is in the house. Good morning to you, love. Getting in here. Nice one. Yes. Thank you very much to everybody that's getting in here and joining us this morning for a little bit of chat. We're just talking about Harry Maguire, really. So get your thoughts on if you think he should still be the captain at United, or if you've had enough of him now and you would like to see somebody else given the captaincy. Also, get your opinions in and thoughts in on what you think is going to happen to Harry Maguire. Like, ultimately, I think he'll probably just be found innocent in the end, because he will have some fantastic lawyers. And let's be honest, the Greek justice system, or the judicial system, they seem to rush this through very, very quickly. And if there was a proper fair trial, and his lawyers have, you know, I'm sure he's going to have some fantastic lawyers as well. I know Manchester United probably quite quickly got together a Greek lawyer out there to represent Harry Maguire, but with a bit more time, a bit more planning, he probably will get off scot-free. What do you reckon? Son Goku Ian says, do you sell teas, Pig? Gonna cop one on payday too. You bloody legend, mate. Yes, I do sell teas, my friend. I don't know how I can... Oh, look. Actually, yeah, if I'll just show you this, actually, yeah. This is the one I'm wearing now, actually. So, it's the Don Piglione Basic Tee. Yeah, that's what I've got right now on anyway. So, yeah, I do. I don't know how you can find it. It'll be in the store somewhere. Check it out. You know what I mean? But anyway, there's also this Flying Pig mug. If you do want to support the show with a bit of merch, you can do it. It's on my Teespring store. Just going to put it out there, seeing as you asked. So I should have pinned that at the top there, I think. Pin. Oh, yeah, pin. I can pin it. Check this out. Check me out learning new YouTube. I've just been using the old YouTube for ages. Check it out. Okay, yeah, there you go. So anybody in the live chat, you can see it. God, that's not too shabby, yeah. Oliver H says, drop a morning like for the pig. Thank you so much for that, Oliver. Yeah, please do smash a thumbs up on it if you have not done so already. Kabaki HD says, let's be honest, Pig. If Chelsea were in for Sancho, they would have had him and we would be in for Ismaila Sarr. Hey, man, you make a very good point, mate. If Chelsea were in for Sancho, they would have bloody had him because they're not fanning around. They'll pay the money. I'm surprised they haven't been in for him. It's only because of the quality players they've got there at the moment that it maybe doesn't make the most sense to improve in that position in the team. So, yeah, I'm with you, mate. I just think United are absolutely bottling it around and having a complete bloody nightmare and need to get some business done sooner rather than later. Thank you very much for that, guys. AJ Nair says, Pig, I meant that Maguire was drunk and wasn't innocent. Oh, okay, yes. Sorry, my friend. Yeah, there's a very good chance of that. I mean, look, he was out on holiday with his mates on a party island. He was pissed out of his head. Of course he was. And to be honest, if you're pissed out of a head that big, you must be pretty freaking pissed up. That's all I'm going to say. So, yeah, and they probably didn't provide him with a pillow big enough in the cell either, so he probably woke up with a crooked neck in the morning. You know what I mean? It's not good times for Harry Maguire. But he seemed, you know, like I said in his interview, he seemed like he's going through some stuff at the moment, his family and stuff. This is a bit of a media storm for him. It's a negative media storm. He doesn't want any of this. And if he's right in what he's saying about him being innocent and not having to apologise for something that he didn't do, then fair play to the lad if it all turns out he's innocent, honestly. My personal opinion, and I don't want any of you to dislike this, but that's it. You dislike away if you want. But the point I think that there's probably a middle ground here. I think the police are over-exaggerating it over in Greece. I think the bribery thing's just false. I think it's just, there's a little bit, something sounds a little bit fishy. Just my thoughts, you know, I'm not trying to accuse anybody of anything, just my humble thoughts. And I also think Harry Maguire was on the source, over on holiday, had one few too many. Maybe there's a bit of a confusion of what's happened. There's a little bit of worry and anger from what we've heard in the build-up of what potentially happened. And I think that they've both just had a bit of a nightmare situation, if I'm being totally honest, and the police have been a little bit too proud, because there was some business them talking about, oh, you know, if they apologise to us, it would be okay. It's like, no, hang on, that's not how it works, you twats. Either he did it or he didn't do it. You know what I mean? Not, oh, if you apologise to us, we're not going to do you for bribery. What sort of bullshit's that? You know what I mean? So look, I see it from both point of view. I think probably it's somewhere in the middle. It's somewhere in the middle, my friends. Probably was a bit of pushing and shoving, was a bit of confusion there, especially if they're plainclothed. If you're on holiday and you get accosted by a group of plainclothes policemen and they say they're police, it's a little bit concerning, isn't it? Especially where you are. Like, it depends entirely on where you are as well. Like, if I was just down the road at my place, then I wouldn't really think twice about it being a real policeman. But, you know, I'm not trying to disparage anywhere on the earth, but there's certain countries where if you got pulled over by a policeman, I wouldn't know if they were corrupt. I wouldn't know if they were legit. So I think it's a fair point that Harry Maguire's sort of making there. Yeah. Hey, the Toxic Stand in the gaff says, I back Harry 100%. Fair play to you to the Toxic Stand. Yep, I can understand that. Kabaki HD says, why is our captain getting drunk while Bruno is out there having quality time with his family? Big difference. Kabaki, I mean, it's different folks and different strokes, I guess. I don't think our captain should be over there partying, but at the same time, he's a young single bachelor, isn't he? I think Bruno's like married with kids and stuff. They're in different situations and different circumstances. But to be the captain of Manchester United means a big responsibility, and that means you cannot go gallivanting around and acting like a young bachelor, to be fair. Well, it's not that you can't do that. You can. But what I'm saying is he can't do that at the moment, especially when there's a global pandemic on. It's ridiculous. Not a wise thing to do. He's had a nightmare. But Son Goku makes a great statement. Says, everyone is human at the end of the day. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me. Don't put your blame on me. You're right. Anyway, he says, everyone's human at the end of the day, People should enjoy themselves regardless of getting drunk or spending time with family, but need to act responsible whilst you're a pro footballer. Yes, not just a pro footballer. I would say if you're Jesse Lingard or Tahith Chong or Brandon Williams, who's a young 19-year-old lad, I would say they need to not be going to Mykonos right now. I would say they need to be acting responsibly right now. Absolutely. More so this summer than any other summer gone. Of course, you're always going to let off steam and have a big party up at the end of a season. Of course, they're professional footballers. They've committed their entire selves to being completely professional for that season, you would hope. They're not drinking, they're not smoking, they're eating salmon and stuff like that throughout the bloody season. And then it comes to the end of the season, what do they have to do? They want to let off a bit of steam. I completely understand. Trust me, they are professional for 9 months of the year, and the other couple of months, they've got to still be professional. They've got to train, they've got to prepare. There's 6 weeks they really get, if anything. So I understand it. He's from Sheffield. He probably likes a pint of, a Stone's Bitter, this lad. Fair play to him, that most people do. So I completely get that. And I don't hold that against him, but I just think that this summer it shouldn't have been the case. And I actually blame the football club, Manchester United, just as much as I blame as I blame Harry Maguire, in all honesty, because they shouldn't have allowed it. We should have advisors at Manchester United who have said to the players by now, look, this summer, just keep it domestic, okay? If you're going to go on holiday, go down to Lyme Regis or something. Do you know what I mean? Like the home yards. Do you know what I mean? Don't go to bloody Mykonos. So I do think the club's had a nightmare here. They shouldn't just be letting their players go wherever they want in the world. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, just go on a safari in the Serengeti there, Tahith. That's no worries at all, mate. Even though there's a bloody global pandemic on the go right now, you just do what you want to do. It's ridiculous, guys. Screenshot Mania says, what did I miss, guys? You missed quite a reasonable bit, mate. We're just talking about Harry Maguire's interview from last night, really. You probably have to go back and watch this vid, but yeah, just talking about him and how he's reacted in the interview and his open, honest thoughts. Seemed open and honest. Seems like he's been through a little bit here, so, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's a very tricky situation for the club and the player. The club don't want to be dealing with this right now, especially with what else is going on right now in the club in terms of a PR nightmare, because the fans are pissed off. We don't see any movement going on at this football club in terms of the transfer window. So the fans are already pissed off. And then you've got Paul Pogba getting the coronavirus, which might impact the start of the season for us. You never know. I hear Aaron Wan-Bissaka's in quarantine now, and maybe a couple of United players who've been in contact with these guys. Pogba's got coronavirus, and people are saying, "Oh, it's a virus that only kills 0.01% of people, and it's the vulnerable people and stuff like that." That is not actually, that is a problem. But I'm saying it's not. The problem is that it may impact him being able to start the season. If he's still got symptoms in a couple of weeks' time, then there's no way that there's going to be Paul Pogba starting in Manchester United's side at the start of the season, in my opinion. So I think it does impact us in more ways than you can imagine, Paul Pogba having coronavirus. There's Harry Maguire, who's got this going on. We don't know what's going to go on, whether he's going to have to go back to Greece for a trial, when that will be. So look, it's one of those, isn't it? We're just having a bit of a crap summer. This is the shittest year on record for me in my lifetime. 100%. Like 2020 is the most garbage year you can imagine. There's all this civil unrest around the world. There's all this, coronavirus and all this stuff going on. And now United are falling to bits. It's quite a shame, really. It's not a good look for us this year. Tushar Gupta in his house. Thank you, Tushar Gupta, with your super chat there. $5, mate. Spot on. He says, Bacon Brigade. Get in there, my friends. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the Bacon Brigade. That is my name for all of you legends who are followers and supporters and subscribers of Flying Pig United. You are the Bacon Brigade, my friends. So thank you very much to all of you for being a part of the brigade. Honestly, great brigadiers, a lot of you. Razak says, Pig, if you were the owner of United, what would you do to fix the club? Okay, so I think personally the most important things that I would do. Look, it depends what you mean. If I'm the owner, if I'm replacing the Glazers, am I clearing off the debt? Because that's the first thing that I would do. If I was a rich billionaire, Obviously, the debt's getting cleared off. We're going to be looking at improving facilities, stadium, because look, there was a meme going around last season of Manchester United's roof leaking through. Like, it needs some updating, it needs some improving. Like, it is in a bit of a state. The facilities at United used to be absolutely state of the art. But I think it's fair to say that we have been overtaken recently, especially with the new facilities and stadiums being built, like Tottenham Hotspur's stadium. United need a little bit of updating, but that is secondary. That's secondary. I just think that is something that the club should be doing, which is something that the club are not doing because of all our other fingers in pies that are going on upstairs. In all honesty, I don't think that they've got they've got no budget for that whatsoever, because they don't even have a budget to bring bloody players into the side. But you know what I would do this window? This would be a big window of investment for me if I was the owner of United, because I understand that Solskjaer has probably shown the most promise out of every manager we've had since Alex Ferguson left. And what I mean by that is the most promise in terms of the bigger picture, the long-term view, the right ethics, the right philosophy, the right blooding of youth, the right signings. He fits in. He's the most progressive in my eyes. Mourinho, much bigger named manager, but he's not as progressive. Van Gaal, experienced, but he's not the raw younger manager that's done such a good job that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, in my opinion. Of course they're not. You know, it's like comparing somebody who's at the end of their career to somebody that's at the start. Solskjaer's pretty new in management. This is his first big club. He's had Molde, he's had Cardiff. Doesn't compare, does it? He's got to learn on the job as he goes along. But considering what we've seen and who he's signed and what he's done, I think he's doing a fantastic job. And I would back him right now in this window, more so than any other manager that there's been, especially at this moment in time. Because look at the players and the development of the squad that he's overseen this season. The likes of Greenwood coming through, Wan-Bissaka, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Martial. All these guys getting better and better and better. And if you added the right players into the mix in this summer window, who knows, maybe you could go on and just win the league. Maybe you could just go on and surprise a few people, but you need all of the tools to be able to do that. You can't just hope for a miracle season like a Leicester City or something. You have to plan, you have to be prepared. PPP. Piss poor planning, piss poor performance, lads and lasses. And that's what we've been seeing too many times. The 6Ps at United. Woodward and the gang, they don't really have a clue, in all honesty, in what's best for United on the pitch, I think. Because if they did know what they'd have, if they did have a clue, they'd know what to do. They would have got the players in by now. They wouldn't be haggling over a couple of million pounds here and there. No, they would have got the players in like Chelsea have done. Don't say it's not possible. Other teams are signing players. Lesser teams are signing players. Why are they all signing the players, but Manchester United are not signing the players? It's ridiculous, my friends. Right, smash a thumbs up on this video, lads and lasses. Get in here. I might as well stay until 20 past now, guys, and do an hour, to be honest. Seeing as you're all here and you're all still commenting, because it's a good chance for me to get interactive with you peeps out there in the Bacon Brigade. So I'll stick around until, I think I started at 21 minutes past, so I'll stick around until 21 minutes past 9. Screw it. But yeah, please do hit that like button if you have not done so already. That'll help this channel and this stream out amazingly. Like I say, we're almost at 25,000 subscribers, which is absolutely sensational. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, then please do consider subscribing to the channel, because that would be awesome. Hopefully you'll hit 25k subs soon. Thank you very much, everybody that's in here. Dejan CFC says, bring back the guitar intro, Pig. I hear you. I'm going to pull that out at some point, mate. You know, I like to mix it up, keep it fresh and original. But yes, my friend, that is on the agenda at some point. You know this. Sorry, Screenshot Mania says, please answer my question, Pig. How do you think we will go in the Champions League? Can we make the final, or will we get to the round of 16 and drop out? You know what, Screenshot Mania? How I think we're going to do in the Champions League is gash. I'm going to say that now, because we haven't been in the Champions League for a little while now. We've seen how much of a step up in competition the Champions League is compared to the Europa League. We couldn't even win the Europa League. So I do think that it's going to be a little bit of a shock to the system for Manchester United when we do enter the Champions League. It depends on the draw. It depends on cup luck. At the end of the day, it's a cup tournament. You are more likely to win the Champions League if you're in it than if you're in the Premier League for Manchester United right now. I truly believe that. That's why Liverpool won it a couple of times before they won the league. Because it's a cup knockout tournament and stuff can happen in cup knockout tournaments. So we do have a chance. But in all honesty, how I feel about it, I feel absolutely like we don't have the tools. We're not well prepared. We don't have the squad depth. We don't have the players that are capable of mounting a serious challenge on all fronts. And that is actually in the Premier League, and that's in the Champions League and the Cups, really. Like, you need a squad capable of challenging on all fronts and having the depth there to be able to do it. And that's the big question mark around United. Do we have the depth? No, it's not a question mark, actually. We just don't have the depth. But the question mark is, will we improve and actually add the depth? And at this moment in time, it's looking like an absolute horror show. Hayden Alessandro with a 1999 super chat. Thank you very much, Hayden Alessandro. Top lad. Really appreciate the support, dude. He says, I'm treating myself to one of your mugs today, Mr. Pig. I shall tag you on my Instagram with the mug also when you get a chance. Please, could you put the link in the description so I can become a member? That would be sick. Hayden Alessandro, you're an absolute hero, bro. I don't know if you've got access to a PC, actually, but you can become a member just by clicking the blue join button on there. But yes, my friend, I will work on that. I think there's an issue with people on iPhones, is it, that can't join the channel membership, like Hayden there. But Hayden, man, incredible from you there, man. Thank you so much for that, dude. He's going to buy a freaking mug as well. That makes you the opposite of one. Matty the Rushmeister, thank you so much, Matt Rush. I didn't even see you in the live chat here, mate. Are you on the way to work or something? Here he is, Matt Rush. Thank you for that, Matt Rush. He says, subscribe to the channel. You bloody legend as well, Matt Rush. He sent a PayPal over, says, support the pig. Let's get that 25k. Subscribe to the channel from Matty the Rushmeister. Thank you so much, lads and lasses. I'll be buzzing my tits off when we get to 25,000 subscribers, to be honest. Because it's just a good milestone, isn't it? A quarter of a century. Well, no, actually, that would be 25. But you know what I mean? A quarter of 100,000 is pretty significant. What's going on, Big God Bobby says, no prison wall in the world could stop Slabby's bulldozer head. It's pointless jailing him. My mate got a 2 stretch for punching a police officer. Nothing gets past Sherlock Bobs. Hey, fair play, that's not good, mate. I mean, obviously there's different circumstances. If your mate's full on assaulted a police officer like that, then he probably deserved it, mate. Just gonna say. I mean, we don't know what's happened. In a way, though, look, people always say it, but it's kind of true. Like, celebrities, they're kind of above the law. And not above the law, but they've got the money to be able to fight legal cases much better than the average person. Like, your mate, I don't know, maybe he's rich as well, Bob, but he probably couldn't afford, like, O.J. Simpson's lawyer. You know what I mean? Whereas some other people can afford really fantastic lawyers, and I think that makes a really big difference, and it might cost them a lot of money. Razok says 25k milestone vid. Absolutely, Razok. There will be a 25k celebration vid coming some point on the channel whenever we hit 25k. And G-Wolf says, what are you going to do for it, bro? I've got a couple of ideas, G-Wolf, but I'm not going to release anything right now. It's going to have to be a little bit of a surprise. Michael Fletcher says, Pig, have you changed your approach to this Maguire situation? Shouldn't be shitting down a man's neck. Fair play, no, I don't really know what that last bit means, mate, but it sounds like something, that you might have been watching on some German website, mate, but no. Anyway, how I changed my approach on the Maguire situation, look, I haven't, but in all honesty, depends what you mean. I mean, I still don't think that he should have been there. I still think that he's partly responsible for what has happened, because if you don't put yourself in the firing line, then you don't get shot, my friends. And he did put himself in the firing line by going out there and obviously going to a place that was not safe, and he shouldn't have done that. He could have been targeted anywhere in the world, I suppose, but would he have been targeted if he was at Butlins? That's what I was saying earlier. I don't think so. And it's just not a good situation for him to put himself in. But at the same time, I think that he should have his captaincy stripped for not being responsible to begin with. It's not responsible behaviour from a Manchester United captain to put yourself in that situation and be international news that you've assaulted police and offered bribes, and whether it's true or not, to actually put yourself in that position and jeopardise your career in such a way is a little bit foolish in my eyes, mate. So, look, I personally don't think that he's a saint in this one. I also don't think that the grounds that he's being prosecuted for, was prosecuted for, and is maybe re-prosecuted for, I don't think that they're that legit. I personally don't think. Now, they could be, they couldn't be. We don't know. We don't know until more comes out about it. I think he'll get off, though, mate. I think he'll get off. I think that Manchester United will stick with him. I think Solskjaer, though, you know, I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know what will happen. I think that Bruno Fernandes should be the captain now because this is just a perfect opportunity to make the change. And he's a better leader anyway. But I was saying this weeks ago before any of this happened anyway. So I am a little bit biased in that sense because I don't think Slabby's had a great leaders season. Whereas I think Bruno has. I just think it might be better to have him as our leader in midfield. Lashy Barton, yes, my friend, what's crack-a-lackin'? Says, sup, pig, great to see you doing a live show now. Perfect time for us Aussies. G'day, mate. Thank you very much for stopping by, cubba. Where are you watching from in Australia, Lashy Barton? Bit of Sydney action, is it? Or bit of Darwin? Bit of Darwin over on the other side. Anyway, wherever you're watching from, everybody, thank you so much for getting here. Smash that like button, get involved in the conversation today. Let's just have another vote then, because the other day we had a vote, and I think it was very heavily in favour of stripping Harry Maguire of the captaincy and giving it to Bruno Fernandes. But I want to have a little vote now just to see how people's opinions have changed now that they've maybe seen the interview, now that maybe a little bit more information has come out. So there's a bunch of you in the live chat today, so let's have a little vote. Stick a 1 in the live chat if you still want to have Harry Maguire as our captain, and stick a 2 in the live chat if you want somebody else to be captain. So 1 for Harry Maguire, 2 for somebody else. Thank you very much for everybody that votes. And let's just have a little look. Thank you very much, Ms528. Really appreciate that. Says, good to see you in here, Pig. Morning live show. Absolutely getting in here. Viking Red with the 1. Bruno says Razak. Deep Patel with the 2. G Wolf 1. Kabaki 2. Michael Fletcher 1. 111. 222. Screenshot. I'm only counting your vote once, mate. But anyway, I think it's still in favour of Bruno Fernandes. Like, I'm seeing a lot more 1s than there was the other day, though. Like, I still think maybe having seen Harry Maguire's interview, it's maybe changed a couple of people's minds, and they just think that he's obviously been done dirty over there in Greece, and they're 100% back in the player, which, fair enough, I understand, but I still think it's a bit of give and take. Thank you, Kabaki HD, says, pig in, Woodward out. Zoinks 101111 comments 1. Raj Taj Mahood with the 1 as well. So yeah, great. Look, there's lots of people commenting there for Harry Maguire, so lots of unbridled support there. Michael Fletcher says, giving it to Bruno is shitting down a man's leg. I see what you're saying there, Michael Fletcher. Very passionate on this one, mate. Yeah, no, that's your opinion, man. Yeah. Look, if you think sticking with Harry Maguire is the thing to do, fair play. But I actually, look, you have to give me credit here, Michael. I was saying this weeks ago before this. So this isn't me with a knee-jerk reaction. This just adds to my reasoning for stripping him of the captaincy. I was going to give it to... I wanted Bruno to be the captain ages ago. So you have to give me that at least, even if you disagree with me. Thank you, Matty the Rushmeister. Much appreciated. Savar Ma with a great comment here says, I agree he should not have been there, but I believe him because when you're famous, kidnapping becomes a real threat. There you go. If you're famous, if you earn big money, you do become targets 100% for people trying to profit off of you. And whether or not that is a corrupt official or a corrupt judge or a corrupt policeman or a corrupt state. And I'm not suggesting anything here, guys. I'm just merely throwing it around that maybe there is some foul play at play here. And like you say, Harry Maguire puts himself in a vulnerable position and somebody maybe is looking to take advantage of that. They know he's an £80 million player and you can't really miss him. When Harry Maguire gets off the boat on your island, crikey, you see him coming a mile off. The guy's got an Easter Island head, for Pete's sake. I mean, they have to bring in a ramp and wheel him off the boat and everything. Like, you know, so it's everybody knew he was there. AJ Nair's not a fan of Maguire anyway, so doesn't, not thinking him he's that great. I don't think he's had that great of a season. This is the thing. Like, if he had somewhat of a more impressive season, I think that would definitely change my opinion on him being the captain. But because he's had a bit of a poor season, and because he wasn't the best leader all the time, being at fault a lot of the time, I think it's not a good look for our captain, really. You need somebody who's on it like a car bonnet, which is why I think Bruno's the man. But look, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. We've got a new channel member, a new member of the Bacano Brigade, Oliver H. Shout out to you, Oliver H, mate. You're top lad. Really appreciate that, dude. In fact, I think you've been a member before, haven't you, Oliver? So shout out to you for rejoining your membership there, dude. I think you have, unless it's another Oliver. I don't know. But yeah, nice one, Oliver. You top lad. Really appreciate that, dude. We've got a new member, shout out, Bacon Brigade member, Oliver H. Right, let's read a bunch more of your comments out. Gungers says, welcome, Oliver H. Voodoo Chili comments, United fans were calling for Maguire as captain a few months ago. Some were, some weren't. You know, some were, some weren't. In all honesty, look, Harry Maguire, when he came into the football club for £80 million, he made a lot of sense to be the captain. I completely agree. But that's before Bruno Fernandes came into the side. And that's post Ashley Young. Ashley Young was the bloody captain this season for Manchester United before he went off to Inter. So, look, after Ashley Young, it made sense, I guess, that it would be Harry Maguire because he was here from the start of the season. So I understand giving it to him then. But I don't understand now keeping with it, to be perfectly honest. G Wolf United with a comment. Great lad says, you got to stay with Maguire as Bruno hasn't been there long. And when Maguire first came, you wanted him captain. Are you one of those people that want to change captain every 6 months? I did want, like I said, it made sense. Who would I rather have captain? Harry Maguire or Ashley Young? I mean, come on. Give me a bit of credit. I'm working with what we had at the time. Then Bruno came in on the 31st of January and had the season he's had. And now I want him as my captain. And I don't want to change captain every 6 months. I want Bruno to be the captain for the next 6 years. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm saying make the change now rather than later. Because if you keep this going, you can't really change your captain ever then. Because then Slabby is always going to, he's going to have that issue. But at this moment in time, there is a reason to take the captaincy off of him. He's still going to be in the side. He's still going to battle. And then Bruno can actually be the leader that he actually is for the next 6 years. So that's what I'm going with, But it's a great talking point, though. It's a great talking point. Everyone's got a different opinion. So it's a great talking point, this one. Josh Headley, how you doing there, matey? Sorry, Healy. One of the classics, he says, De Gea for captain. Got it taken away for speaking the truth. Interesting. So he thinks De Gea captain. Like I said before, he's one of the candidates for it because he's got the experience and the time at the football club. Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of goalkeepers being a captain. And also, he's had a bit of a ropey season, which doesn't help him because what if he has a few more ropey games and then Dean Henderson comes in and replaces him and then you've got your captain on the bench. JP, what's going on, JP? He says, Pigmate, I left a dream of Phil twerking in the sauna for this stream. He was spanking himself with a muddy sock. Jeez, the sacrifices I make for you. Oh, no, JP, what's the matter with your psyche? Honestly, what's the matter with your psyche, my friend? Bloody hell. No, fair play to you, mate. Sounds like you've had a bit of a steamy dream with Phil there, but thank you for coming on the stream. I'm sorry to disrupt you there. Hopefully you can go back to sleep and pick up where you left off, JP, lad. Razak says Pig Bayern's captain as goalkeeper. They are fantastic. Hey, look, yeah, there's been great captains that, Iker Casillas, captain Spain to the World Cup. We've talked about that. I get it. I understand. But I just like having a player more mobile out there on the pitch because think about it. If you're out there and you're trying to get messages to players and communicate with your players, it's easier to do if you're a midfielder, isn't it? Because you're just in the middle of the pitch. You can talk to the defence. You can talk to the attack. If you're a goalkeeper, how can you get a message to somebody who's a striker? You have to gob off like Peter Schmeichel, but I don't think David De Gea is necessarily like that. Mrs. P with a super chat says, Findandui! Nice one. Sun Wukong comments, that was a good one. Easter Island. You know it, Sun Wukong. I mean, look, get your Easter Island emoji. Look, channel members, all the channel members, get your Easter Island emojis in the live chat now. Your slabhead emojis, get them in there now. Because that is our nickname for Harry Maguire around here. We mean it affectionately. But that is our nickname for Harry Maguire, Easter Island Head. Because he's got a head, looks like he belongs on that island. And it is made of concrete. Razak says, defo agree, Pig, but unfortunately, we had no outfield candidates at the time. There you go. At the time, it wasn't good. But now we do have Bruno. So why wouldn't you have an outfield player? Look, I just think of captains like Roy Keane. I think of captains like Brian Robson. I'm thinking of midfield maestros here. Marvellous players. And it makes a lot of sense to have a midfield captain. And Bruno's going to be here for the next 6 years. Like, in all honesty, who do you think is going to have the best 5-year spell for Manchester United going forward? Who do you think is going to have the best 5-year spell? Harry Maguire or Bruno Fernandes? Who's going to be the most influential player or the best player for Manchester United over the next 5 years? Harry Maguire or Bruno Fernandes? Stick a 1 in the live chat if you think it's going to be Harry Maguire, and stick a 2 in the live chat if you think it's going to be Bruno Fernandes. That's a different question I'm asking here, peeps. Totally different question. Who do you think is going to be the best player for United over the next 5 years? 1 for Harry Maguire, 2 for Bruno Fernandes. 1 for Harry Maguire, 2 for Bruno Fernandes. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Lads and lasses, look at all the 2s coming through in the live chat. And that's the point I'm making. There's not even 100% certainty, I don't think, that Harry Maguire stays here longer than a couple of seasons. Like, I don't want to, be negative, but I don't think it's a guarantee he stays here for the rest of his career or anything. Whereas Bruno, with what he's already meaning to the fans, with how he's already leading this side out there and putting in the performances he's putting in, I have to say Bruno Fernandes is going to have the best 5 years. So therefore, and I think because of the player that he is and because of the leadership qualities he has, I think therefore I would much rather go with Bruno Fernandes as captain going forward, because it makes sense not just for now but for the future as well. There you go, bish bash bosh, done and dusted, signed, sealed, delivered. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Have some of that. That's how I feel, guys. Oh, yes, Little Z says Bruno, 5 years. There you go. Screenshot Mania says, Pig, what's your thoughts on Jadon Sancho coming to Man United? Do you think it will happen? Oh, okay, so Jadon Sancho, man, it's redonkulous. We should have had him by now. We should have absolutely signed him by now. There's no excuses for not signing him by now. We should have done it, but we haven't done it. Do I think we will do it? I think it's 50-50, guys. I would like to say yes. I still think we are going to sign some players before the end of the window because we have to. But whether or not Jadon Sancho is going to be that guy, whether or not we're prepared to meet the valuation from Dortmund there of somewhere in the region of 110, 120 million is another question. But we should do. If it was up to me, I'd have spent the money and got him in there at the start of the window. Jeff Lupawana, what's going on? Shout out to you for getting in here too. Everyone, smash that like button if you can. That would really help this stream out. Chuck a little cheeky like on it. Get your thoughts and opinions in finally. We're going to wrap it up. I just realised we have been going for over an hour now. So I don't want to bore the socks off of you lads and lasses to start your day. Thank you, Mrs. P. JP, thank you very much for getting in here. Dr. Zand as well. I'm guessing it's Zand. It's with an X. He says, Pig, where do you think Messi is going to end up? Okay, so this is my opinion on Messi. I think he's going to remain at Barcelona. I think they'll reach some sort of an agreement. Maybe the owners there will make a big investment in bringing other players in, maybe convince Lionel to stay. I still think the most likely outcome come the start of the new season will be Lionel Messi being a Barcelona player. So that's actually where I think he's going to end up. But if he does leave Barcelona, the only real place I think he's going to end up is at Manchester City because of that Pep Guardiola connection, because of the Premier League, because it's a team that's challenging for everything, unfortunately, and have a good squad, very good squad, and he knows Pep and they can pay him. And that is one of the most important things about it, is that they can pay him. And there's not that many people that would pay somebody close to £1 million a week or whatever it is. I think he's on, 900,000 euros, which is like £800,000 a week or something. It's a ridiculous amount of money. That's my word of the day, isn't it? But no, it is. And to be fair to him, he's worth it because he's still only 33. He's still going to be amazing for you. He's an amazing player. And it's just commercially, what does that do for a club like Manchester City, who literally don't really have a proper fan base other than the ones that they've bought recently over the last 7 or 8 years? They don't really have a proper fan base. And if you had Lionel Messi in your team, guess what that is going to do to the fan base? It's going to explode. If I'm Manchester City, if I'm Pep Guardiola, if I'm the owners of Manchester City, I'd pay Messi £1 million a week to be. It's just like having a brand ambassador who's the best player, the biggest high-profile player in the world, along with Ronaldo, who you could get. So it makes perfect sense for Manchester City to throw all their eggs in one basket, which isn't even doing with the money and finances they've got at their disposal, to be honest. But they could get Messi in there, worry about the financial fair play crap later. It would generate a lot in commercial deals and shirt sales and stuff like that anyway to offset some of the costs. And they could afford it. So I think that the most realistic thing for Lionel Messi is to be a City player if he's not going to stay at Barcelona anyway. AJ Nair says Jude Bellingham is having a beautiful season at Dortmund. There you go, mate. That's what I'm talking about. Like, we missed out on a whole bunch of players already. There was Haaland. You know, we could have had Haaland. I'm convinced we could have had Haaland. The deal fell down on there being a big club release clause, I believe, in the contract, which we didn't want to have. But we could have had the services of a good young player for at least 4 or 5 years and maybe renegotiate later. But instead, what we did was withdraw from the deal and allow him to go to Dortmund. That was a joke, man. That's a joke. That's ridiculous run of the football club, in my opinion, there to lose out. And look what he went on to do as well. Like, fair enough if he went on to do nothing, but he just instantly signed for Dortmund and then bashed in a whole bunch of goals in the Champions League and all sorts. Like, he just... You know, there's so many options that we've got with players. We could sign so many players, but we don't. Hey, thank you, Buck Nasty. Says, big fan, mate. Really appreciate that, Buck Nasty. Thanks for getting here. I just want to say to everybody, Frank Fortescue as well, Fortescue, and everybody getting in here, if I have missed your comment, because trust me, I'm trying to read out a comment from every single person if possible, but get your comments in here, because I just want to try and read out as many different ones. Joseph September, like the name, mate. He says, Harry Maguire, you assaulted police, captain of Manchester United. Certain characteristics need to be adhered to. Your character dictates your behaviour. Players look up to you, question mark. A little bit of a philosophical way to put that there, Joseph. Fair play to you, lad. Yeah, I know what you're saying. That he's put himself in harm's way. He's gone out there. He's had a nightmare, hasn't he? So, yeah, I'm with you, mate. Character is a little bit of question there. Why couldn't he have just stayed home during a global pandemic? Why not? It doesn't make sense to go out there and do that as a United captain. JP comments, Bob, you watched that on a loop in padded room. I don't know what you're in reference to, but I guess you're probably watching something Phil Jones related. Hey, Ellie, thank you everybody for getting in here this morning and moderating and being fantastic in the live chat. The live chat's popping off this morning, to be honest with you guys. I mean, I didn't think there'd be too many of you on here, but there's actually 70 odd of you in here this morning right now. So thank you so much for tuning in to the show this morning. And there's a comment here, another PayPal here from Gungers. Thank you, Gungshi. What a legend. He says, Pig, what happened to the get in there, my son sound effect you had for new members? Didn't hear it when Oliver H joined. It's a funny one. Hope you can fix it so it works. Yeah, I don't know, Gungshi. Thank you so much. I will fix it. Absolutely. I love those sound effects. I love the get in there, my son, and the super chat. But they're not working today, mate, so I don't know why. But I'm definitely going to have a look into that, mate, so that it should be absolutely spot on for the next episode. So thank you so much for bringing that up, mate, and letting me know that. Absolute bloody legend. Sorry, I missed one of your super chats there, Mrs. P. She says, Tofui, oh, how I missed you. Hey, and, shout out to the new member, Oliver H, as well. Right, guys, I guess we'll wrap this video up there then, because... we've chatted a lot of COD this morning, but shout out once again, Matty Rush, Ellie, Lashy Barton, Little Z, Razerk, Screenshot Mania, Matty the Rush Meister, Miz528, Lashy Barton, Gungshi, AJ Nair, Ellie, Viking Red, JP, Kabaki HD, Save Armar, Aniket Mohan, yes Aniket getting in here lad, Hayden Alessandro, everyone. I think that's everyone I mentioned there. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave it there. Come back in a few minutes' time. Comment in the not live comments. Shout out all the way from South Africa to Wesley Gelland as well. Shout out to Wesley. Getting in here from South Africa. Top man. Simon Bennett as well. Getting in here. Thinks he's innocent. Ali Rashidi. Shout out to you. Right, okay, we're going to leave it there. Josh Healy, Voodoo Chili, everyone, thanks for stopping by and watching this pig breakfast anyway. We're going to wrap it up now, but yeah, it's been a fun show. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll keep you up to date with all the United news that goes on between now and the start of the season, whether it be to do with Harry Maguire or... Oh, God, what's next? What is next, guys? You know, what is next? It's been a horror year for United as well. Like, what is next? This summer is dreadful. Are we going to get some players? That's what we need to do, get some players. Hopefully I'll have some transfer news to keep you up to date with soon, but we'll see. Okay, have a wicked day then, everyone. Big God Bob, Bernaldine, Buck Nasty, Everyone else, hopefully I said your name at the end and gave you a shout out. If not, I apologise. But chuck a like on this video. Please do leave that thumbs up rating. That will help it out amazingly. And subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Click the bell icon as well. That's very important. Click the bell icon and set it to all to be notified when we go live and we post on this channel. So yeah, that's it though. But thank you so much to everyone once again for tuning in. It's been a great chat. Love the live chat today. All you guys are absolutely amazing, like with the amount of comments and topics you're bringing up in the live chat. It really is fantastic chatting with you, legends. So have a great day. I'll see you soon. This is the Pig on Flying Pig United. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. See you on the next one. And come on, United. Sort your bloody lives out now and sign some freaking players. Nice one, everybody. What a bunch of heroes getting in here. Post-match credits. Now to say thank you to everybody who supports this show on Patreon and who are channel members as well. Tier 2 channel members, sorry, for being legends and just supporting this show. So thank you guys to everybody that does that. These are the post-match credits to say thanks. We've got to add a couple of people on here, which I still haven't done. But yeah, I will do. You know, Hayden Alessandro, First Class Gamer. I think there's somebody else as well. Who is it? Oh, is it Clam J? Oh, I can't remember who I need to add, but there's a bunch of legends that need to be added to this list. Shout out to you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting involved. Absolute heroes. Have a great day, every single one of you. Really appreciate you being a part of the Bacon Brigade and tuning into these videos, especially at this time in the morning. Have a wicked day, everyone. This is the Pig. I'll keep you up to date with United news. Stay classy. Take it easy. And come on.